Tom,
Yeah,
is that
sure.
your family behind you now?
Yeah, you prompted this. You had mentioned the vacation thing because we float a number of ideas at a family meeting because we want the next generation to buy into the idea. But one of the top ideas that the next generation often buy into that they want, and then they own it, but was this idea of a family vacation. And we started this years ago with our family. We gave our children a budget and we let them plan a vacation. And after they planned it, they would then invite us, my wife and me, to go on the vacation that they planned. And, you know, I don't want to let them control my retirement account. And if I owned a business, I don't want them jumping into running a business yet. But what's the worst thing that they could do if they plan a vacation? And this last year, this is the vacation they planned on budget. And we went to Costa Rica. And on this is Christmas Day, we were taking surf lessons. They lined the whole thing up and they invited us to go. It was
That's
really
awesome.
funny. Was they got round trip tickets from Boston to Costa Rica for $200 per person.
Wow.
We have a friend from a close town in Hingham that they spent more than our family spent on our entire family per person to get them down to Costa Rica for the same week that we were there. So they learned a ton, but they've done this over time. They've learned a ton about each other and how to do things. And the reason this often comes across better floated by an outsider, I'll give you an example in the philanthropic area. I was going to do a family meeting for a family, and I was talking to the parents ahead of time, and I asked them, hey, is there an amount of money you'd like them to give to charity, or you'd be willing to let them give to charity that I could talk about? And they said, yeah, we thought about that on the way here. We want them to give away about $30,000 a year out of our foundation. And I said, great, would you let me float that number at the meeting? And they said, oh, no, we thought about that too. We actually, you're going to love this, Tom, they said. We're going to engrave that number in wood, and we're going to wrap it up in a box and put a ribbon over it. We're going to give it to them as our gift. I mean, we're going to have tissues out. It's going to be really powerful. So I talked to them about it, and they finally said, wow, you're right. That would be a bad idea, wouldn't it? And I said, yeah, I think that'd be a bad idea. And because
why is that a bad idea?
Because what they recognize, if they wrap that number up and put it in a box, who chose the number? Who chose the number?
Yeah.
But
what to do.
If I get to float the number and say, what about your family? What if your parents had, I don't know, $30,000 we're going to let you give to charity? Could you do anything meaningful with that? And watch the children sit up and look at the parents like, hey, would you be willing? And the parents are able to sit back and say, hey, guys, it's a lot of money. We'd love to, but could you do anything meaningful? To watch the children try and convince the parents that they ought to invest this $30,000. Same number we're trying to get to, but how we get them where they want to go, we think is as important as where we're trying to get them. And so that's where an outsider can do these things. I'm not trying to pull the wool over anybody's eyes, but how these ideas are, we want the children, we call it BOE, buy-in to ownership to empowerment. If we can float the ideas and they choose it, they own it. If they own it, they're empowered by it. And ultimately, where we're trying to get families, the reason we call this whole title, Strong Families Survive Tough Times, to feel known and to know others and to feel connected and a sense of place and purpose creates a much higher sense of resilience in people. No matter what the struggles are they face with, they can get through them. And to hear the history of the family, to know what our family has gotten through before. How did Grandma and Grandpa get through the Depression? How did they get through the World Wars? How did they get through the loss of a child? To have a family that knows those things and allows them to individually be more resilient today and more resilient as a family. And it's those activities. So this looks like a lot of fun in the background, but in reality, it's what makes the difference. And the families that have grown independent to the point of estrangement haven't built the interdependence that we're trying to reintroduce to the family in this process we take families through.